Um, Hello, Gail. Alejandro here, joining from Australia. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm really looking forward to hearing a bit about the Costa Rican Humanitarian Foundation, and what you're up to at the moment, and also what we're working on, and talk a bit about the project we're working on, Friends of Rio Torres. Where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining you from yesterday because you are my tomorrow. I always get a kick out of that. So I'm in Costa Rica. Sitting in a very nice little garden, and yeah, I just came here to have a talk with you and explain to you some of the things about the foundation that you're interested in learning about.
Awesome. Thank you. And thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I know you've got a busy schedule. So let's cut straight to it and get into it. So with the Costa Rican and Humanitarian Foundation, um, tell me a bit about the work that you do and your commitment and how it, what drives you to work with it.
So I think that I was inspired from a very young age to do works, humanitarian works. I've been doing things all my life. And when the Peace Corps got invented in 1963, my thought was, oh, John Kennedy made an organization just for me. So I can go to foreign lands and help the poor people. And so I did. I applied and I got accepted to Costa Rica, thinking that I was going to Africa because that's where all the poor people live. So I've evolved a little bit in my thinking since then. But it was a really, really, really impactful thing for me to be in Peace Corps in Costa Rica. And over the years, I've learned that this is the place that I belong. I'm totally comfortable here and all their quirks and their difficulties. I love this country very much. As far as the foundation is concerned, it was inspired in 1997 after I left here for a year after Peace Corps and came back and started working with Salvadorian refugees and then street children and etc. So I said I have to legalize myself, my organization. So I did. And then found people that needed support to change their lives, and meet their needs, find out their needs and meet their needs.
Got it. And a little bit more personally, like how does that drive? Like what is it that drives you? Like I get that. I get that you saw the suffering, the opportunities to really raise people up. Like, what has you get out of bed really early in the morning and go to bed late at night and spend your whole day driving between the different projects that you're working on?
Okay, Alejandro, it's been 40 years. What I'm going to tell you what got me up this morning. Don Hugo was a member of a combatant in the Nicaragua wars as a Contra. He is now a 65-year-old man whose wife, the love of his life, nearly died from diabetic complications. Today, she is being allowed to go home from the hospital with dialysis going on. And he sent his 11-year-old grandson to pick up food and some money for the grandchildren, who he's also raising, as well as attending to his near-death experience with his wife. His wife. So food and some money to buy school supplies so he can register the kids for school. That's an important thing to do. How many of those do I do in a day? At least 5. How many years have I been doing those 5 things? 45 years. I could tell you so many stories about people who are hungry, people who are in desperate mourning, grief, men who don't have jobs, women who have 5 children and can't pay the rent, etc. And so,
What
why wouldn't you get up if you knew that you had the resources to do something different, something better for them?
got it? And yeah, I hear your commitment, and we'll talk a bit more about that in the Friends of Rio Torres conversation that's coming. So what are the biggest challenges for you with the foundation, and how are you overcoming them?
I have a big challenge to make sure I take enough time for myself, which I get told all the time. But the work energizes me. It's energizing and exhausting. So I have to balance between that and that. And also the challenge is to not get despondent if I can't meet the need of the person. So that, if I can't meet the need physically of the person, I listen. And just the fact that I listen really means a lot to the people. So someone, has a death in the family, I share that with
Got
them. So that's, yeah, the challenge is to keep myself fueled up.
Yeah, I hear that. And yeah, like I can hear you stepping into their world, whether you're
Yeah, I
able to
do.
actually meet the need or not. And that's really
Yeah.
present for me. Really present of how you, yeah, you bring humanity to the conversation. It's not just about distributing money or food. It's meeting
Yeah.
the needs of the emotional needs of people as well.
Yeah.
And how much that plays into the work that you do.
Right.
Awesome. Um, Yeah, what personal experiences, we've talked a little bit about this, but talking about personal experiences that shape your approach to leading the organization. Um, yeah, could you give us an example of one or two things that you've done recently that impact the way or shape the way that you lead the Costa Rican Humanitarian Foundation?
So I think that, believe it or not, I've been shaped a lot by what I read. I'm an avid reader. I have thousands of books, and I've somewhere in there is all of that in this brain. And so it's a challenge for me. It's like a chess game almost, like which which thought process am I going to apply to this moment? Which symbolism am I going to apply to this moment? And so if I have someone in front of me, like today, a man came and he said, my brother is in the hospital in intensive care and I need blood for him. So I have to think, well, I said, I can't give you blood because I had hepatitis once and I don't want to, I don't think I can give blood, but I can give you food for your family so that when they give blood, they'll be more nourished. It's like putting pieces together in a way that has a spiritual component, a mental component, and an actual concrete component. It's a body, mind, heart, and soul connection.
Got it.
I
Got
cry
it.
with the people a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I hear you. And yeah, yeah, I get your commitment.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, speaking a bit more about the organization itself, how do you ensure transparency and accountability to the people that donate and for people that, whether it be funds or their time, like talk to me a bit about that because I've heard a bit
So,
before.
so we receive goods, services, funds, and time. You name those are the things that we get. So the secret, or it's not a secret, but I think the trick is 100% transparency. So, for example, if you're going to come and volunteer, and on that day, um, we have to change our program because one of the children's parents had an emergency. We do it. I mean, we keep we keep. It's like driving a boat in the water. Keep the boat steady. Keep your hands on the wheel, but be looking all around to see what waves are coming. And
Mm,
then try not to bounce the boat too much. Keep it stable. So I don't know, that's kind of how I think about it in a way. and we appreciate the goods that people give. Shoes is a big thing. We really need always shoes, but art supplies is a good thing. Clothing, school books, So I keep my pulse on the community to see what that particular part of the community might need.
Got it.
And for the
And when it comes
finances, as
to,
far as the
yeah,
finances, um, a donor that gives money with no stipulation is extremely valuable to me, because that way I can take care of the man who has to give blood. A donor who gives a fixed thing is like building the bones of the structure. Because if I don't have a fixed amount of money coming in to pay or help or we give stipends to the people who are the teachers, who is the sport captain, who is the one who runs the food program, I can't do those programs. Oddly enough, I can't do all of that. I need help, right?
yeah, got it. Got it. And I think I've seen on your website you've got yearly reports. Can you talk to me about how you set those up and who they're for?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I started doing the reports in 1997, and it was just like writing a letter home to say to your parents, "Look what I've done this year." And then it got more and more elaborate and more detailed. And I always try to make the reports interesting and thoughtful, and of course true, 100% true. One couple years I did only numbers, like 300 children got schooling, 600 people got food. And because that I thought was good for donors who are giving money, so they can see how their money stretches.
Mm.
But people are welcome to go on the website and read all the reports they want to, and see some of the years I was tired. During COVID, it was really hard. And so I was trying to say, well, we're in COVID now. So I got up in the morning and put my mask on, sort of like that. But, I think that the reports tell the story of the foundation.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'll make sure that we post a
The
link
other thing,
to where people
Alejandro,
can find it.
yeah, the other thing is we are required to report every 2 years to the tax department of Costa Rica.
Hmm.
I've been required the last 5 or 6 years to report to the bank where we have our bank accounts.
Hmm.
And there's what's it called? The Contraloria, the National Treasury Department,
Yep.
also has to have a report prepared and vetted by our accountant. So every year I'm doing reports for the legal part of the foundation.
Got it. That's awesome. And yeah, it really shows the rigor, not just
It's a
into the
lot of
people
work.
that are, yeah, the rigor to the legal requirements, but also to the people that are contributing, whether it be the shoes or financial donations. I can see the transparency,
Yeah.
and obviously I've known you for many years, so um for me
Yeah.
that just reinforces what I already know. I'm going to change
Yeah.
tack for the last 3 minutes of the conversation. We are working together on a project called the Friends of Río Torres. Um, can you tell me a bit about what this project means to you, and what we're out to achieve? Really, that's the um, what I'm interested in hearing from your side.
So the community of La Carpio has 25,000 people. It is considered the poorest part of Costa Rica, especially in years past. Not so much now, but in years past. And in La Carpio, there are 9 subsectors. We could call them neighborhoods or sub communities. 2 of them are extremely at risk and poverty stricken. Both of them, there's a river on the right side of the community and a river on the left side of the community. And those houses that are built down there are right on the edge of the river, on the edge of an embankment that's coming that could fall on top of them. They're the most precarious houses, and the people are living in the greatest poverty. Because why would you live down by a polluted river where things are very difficult if you had a job or if you had money or if you had the opportunity to move out? And I've always been worried about Rio Torres. That's the one we're going to work with. We gave out bread, then we gave out school supplies, then we opened a little center, one of our centers nearby, so that the children from Rio Torres could come up at least to go to get classes with us. We supplement the public school, so that's part of it. And but I always said there's got to be a way to get these people out of here. I mean, they
Mm.
can't be living here. It's credit. It really is. And so all of a sudden I get to know Emilio, who is the community president of that particular sector. And he's amazing. He's such a nice person, and he's so um what's the word? Like, he does everything he says he's going to do and more,
Yeah, the
and he's so
integrous.
sincere,
Yeah.
integrous. He's very integrous. And
Yeah.
because you have to watch community leaders sometimes, they say, oh, here comes the money from the gringos. And he has shown not one single moment has he shown ego or greed or taking advantage of. He's become a really good friend and a worthwhile friend.
Mm.
And so that's why another reason why I want to stick with him, because I can trust him to do what he says he's going to do. I mean, he got online and found um, places to get the houses before any of us had even touched the keyboard.
Yeah.
So he's got all the legal documents in order, everything. He's a really good person. So that's what we want to do. We want to create a place of happiness, safety, and security for these 10 families who have been down there for years.
Got it. Awesome. And yeah, I think we might wrap it up there. What I'll do is put the link into the content for this video. We're raising 180,000 Australian dollars to build these 10 homes, which is going to be impacting around 50 people and really transforming their lives, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it exponentially, it's more than 50, because I'm on the fourth generation working in the Carpio.
Hmm.
So my first generation was 30 women, and each of those women had 5 kids, and each of those kids had 4 kids, and each of those kids have 2 kids. So
Yeah.
there is a ripple effect on this project, and I'm really going to be so grateful for people if they'll just support this idea, this project, this dream, this vision, because it will happen, and it will happen in a correct way because we have really good people working on it. And
Awesome.
thank you also, Alejandro, and your team for for coming up with this idea. I've wanted to do this for years, and here you are. How unexpected. So
Oh,
thank you.
unexpected, but so brilliant. Thank you, Gail. Really
Yeah.
appreciate your time.
Okay.
Go enjoy your lunch, and I will be in communication
Okay.
over the next few days. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Alejandro. Okay. Bye
Ciao.
bye.